Over the course and process of constructing my film opening, I have learned a lot about the usage of various different forms of technology, such as a video camera, a Mac, and Final Cut Pro. Learning to use a camera and a tripod to acquire certain shots in our opening was necessary. This meant that I had to experiment with a lot of different features on the video camera we used, as well as positioning the tripod and extending its legs in certain ways to create different and more creative angles for shots. Furthermore, I was able to learn and use Final Cut Pro effectively to implement my ideas into my film opening. In addition to this, using an Apple Mac was a new experience for me that will now benefit me for future projects that I will be taking up next year. The camera that was available for us to use was a JVC 720p flip cam. At first, I believed it would be a disadvantage to use a camera that would limit us in terms of film quality and functions. However, because of this, the features and functions of the camera were easy to use. Also, the zoom feature helped us to emphasize the character's feelings and emotions throughout the film opening. This was used to help me show my perspectives to the audience in a very explicit way. By having Final Cut Pro at my disposal over the course of producing my film opening, this allowed for me to have a lot of different ways in order to edit my footage. Final Cut allowed for me to experiment with a wide selection of tools and features such as the blade and crop setting. I used this feature to shorten and lengthen raw pieces of footage to perfection, as well as get rid of unwanted film. One of the best qualities I felt our film possessed was that it's very smooth and it has a nice flow throughout and it's very easy to watch. The crop feature was key in this aspect as it allowed for us to create several match on action shots. Another one of my favorite aspects to Final Cut Pro was the ability to easily import and input sound clips on top and over our footage. In addition to this, editing and changing sound on Final Cut Pro was practically a piece of cake as all of the attributes were easily accessible and interchangeable. Initially, I thought editing and implementing the sound into my film opening would be the hardest part of editing, and even though it was the longest to do, it wasn't as hard as I expected it to be. All the functions of Final Cut Pro allowed us to present sound in a creative way without using too many confusing functions.